Good morning, everybody. Patty here. This is from Anti-Corruption Society. Anatomy of a Con Job. The following is from John Truman Wolfe's ebook, The Anatomy of a Con Job. Exposing the players and the scams behind the sustainability movement by John Truman Wolfe. Con number 1. Limits to growth. In times of universal deceit, telling the truth will be a revolutionary act. George Orwell. If you look with your understanding, the crimes against humanity are written across the rotting visages of Henry Kissinger and Brzezinski. And didn't he just recently pass? I can't pronounce his first name, but I think he just died. Like a couple of aging prostitutes, these leading architects of the 20th century evil still sell their wares to those with an insatiable lust for power of the crown. Okay, Dr. Henry Kissinger. Gee, what kind of doctor is he? He's a Rockefeller toady, he's a war criminal, he's a globalist, and a Club of Rome member. Quotes, who controls the food supply controls the people. Who controls the energy can control whole continents. Who controls the money can control the world. The Club of Rome, birth mother of the environmental movement. The moldy twosome have something else in common. Both have been active members of an international think tank from the dark side of the force called the Club of Rome, founded at the Rockefeller's estate in Bellagio, Italy, in 1968. Some of the other fraternity brothers and sisters include Al Gore, David Rockefeller, Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands, Mikhail Gorbachev, just to name a few. All right, I can think of more. I mean, that's a long list. And there is no one better to give you the short version of the club's agenda than Gorby himself. Quotes, the threat of environmental crisis will be the internal disaster key that will unlock the New World Order. Who let this guy out of Lubyanka? That's a prison, by the way. Let's see, I'll show you. Hold on. Yeah, a building in Moscow used as a prison. Okay. Yeah, so who let that guy out of jail? Their more precisely stated goal is population control. That's exactly right. The solution? Well, this is their solution. Create an environmental catastrophe like, say, global warming, and blame it on the planet's most heinous villain, humans themselves. But I should let them tell it. Here we go. Quotes. In searching for the new enemy to unite us, we came up with the idea that pollution, the threat of global warming, water shortages, famine, and the like would fit the bill. But in designating them as the enemy, we fall into the trap about which we have already warned, namely mistaking symptoms for cause. All these dangers are caused by human intervention, and it is only through changing attitudes and behaviors that they can overcome. The real enemy, then, is then humanity itself? You seeing that right down here? The real enemy, then, is humanity itself? Well, I'm included in humanity, and I disagree with that. Sounds like a great plan if you're Darth Vader. Let the Force be with you. Anyway, in 1972, the club took the world stage with the publication of a book they had commissioned to be written by a group of MIT scientists. It was called The Limits of Growth, examining the planet's population growth in relation to available resources. The report concluded that the planet would run out of resources sometime in the next 100 years, resulting in a catastrophic decline in population and industrial production. As one reviewer put it, the author examined the impact of humanity on the world ecology and of the steps taken toward remediating the accelerating approach to a train wreck that is mankind's ill-managed and uncontrolled footprint on this planet's environment. Still, these trends and consequences could be altered, it argued. We had to be less, do less, have less. The brand for this Orwellian path to planetary salvation and sustainable development. Heavily promoted, the book reached opinion leaders in political, scientific, and economic circles as it exploded around the planet like the Harry Potter of environmentalism. It sold 12 million copies in 13 languages, despite the fact that the research had all the scientific rigor of a plagiarized term paper for a freshman biology class. Oh, okay. Oh. Quotes. An error does not become truth by reason if multiplied propagation. I'm sorry, let me reread that. An error does not become truth by reason of multiplied propagation, nor does truth become error because nobody sees it. Mohandas Gandhi. Assailed by top scientists, the research was shoddy in the extreme. Population expert and author Professor Julian Simon said, "The limits of growth has been blasted as foolishness or fraud by almost every economist who has read it closely or reviewed it in print." Yale economist Henry Wallach reviewed the book, saying, "The quantitative content of the model comes from the author's imagination, although they never reveal the equations that they used." Okay, but it is a PR world, and with publications of this book, the modern environmental movement was born, midwifed to life in a blanket of deceit. It has yet hailed as the savior, not of mankind, but of the planet it claimed was being fried to a crisp by humanity's toxic binge of carbon dioxide. Oh, binging. You guys all out there binging on carbon dioxide? Yeah, I got my cup here. I'm gonna go out and get me some I'm gonna go binge on some carbon dioxide. Hold on. Wow. Boy, that's addictive. I need more. Okay. Well, I think that binging, whenever humanity binges on something, they need to go to a 12-step program. So if humanity is binging on carbon dioxide, go do your 12 steps. God. Anyways, onwards. The scientific fraud, you think, is its own malice. But you know why I gotta laugh, you guys? It's because the powers that be are such idiots. They are so frickin' stupid because they think everybody is asleep and they think everybody's gonna buy the bullshit. Well, there's a lot of us who don't buy the bullshit, especially me. I don't buy bullshit. First of all, the government doesn't give me enough money to buy anything, let alone buy bullshit. Okie dokie, where am I? I digressed. The scientific fraud is its own malice, but few were able to see the underlying strategy, that the book would serve as the foundation of a global public relations campaign that would mesmerize legislators, educators, and countless organizations of goodwill, and would eventually set the stage for the biggest ripoff in human history. But I am getting ahead of myself. This, then, was con number 1. The scientific basis of the book that launched the environmental movement calling for sustainable development, which is Agenda 21. Alright, that's Agenda 21. You know, sustainable stuff, whatever. That's Agenda 21, which is depopulation. Anyways, I digress. Okay, so the scientific basis of the book that launched the environmental movement calling for sustainable development, meaning population control, and a reduction of man's leopard-like carbon footprint? Boy, man. I like this article. Sometimes I like the way people write. I really do. Okay. And is a scam, hoax, a falsehood, environmental snake oil. Let's see. Environmental snake oil. Environmental snake oil. Look at this. More precisely, their goal is population control. The solution? Create an environmental catastrophe. Ah, you guys are so pathetic. And the people who believe in global warming, you're more pathetic. Go back to your frickin' CBS, CNN life, Fox News, if you think for 1 second humanity is the reason for global warming. And global warming's bullshit, by the way. It's one of the biggest hoaxes alive. Alright? It was their way of taxing you and making you feel guilty because you're driving your damn cars. You know? I do think people should drive a lot less. I really do. You know? But, you know, we're little peons on Earth. Little itty-bitty little specks of nothing on Earth. And you think that we're more powerful than Earth? Well, that's a very narcissistic perspective. Alright? Very narcissistic. I've been studying the Schumann resonance. And, the Earth has a heartbeat, everybody. Okay, look around. Everything is alive. We've got trees, we've got flowers. Yes, things are dying, but that's because that's what the globalist elite, the deep shit government. Oh, I'm sorry. Oops, did I say that? Deep state. You know, I'm going to come up with my own word for these freaks. Okay? Globalists, elites, deep state, shadow government. They're not a shadow government anymore, by the way. They're, like, exposed. So, people that, I know I'm digressing. I know I'm getting off topic. I do that. Because the article's coming to an end anyway. See, it's coming to an end. I'm trying to point my finger, but okay. Where was I? Environmental snake oil. You know what? What a great way to make money. I got some environmental snake oil for sale. Only $1. Email me $1 and I'll send you some environmental snake oil. No problem. I wish my camera would stay up. Okay. Every violation of... Hang on. Every violation of truth is not only a sort of suicide in the liar, but is a stab at the health of human society. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Every time I see Ralph Waldo Emerson, I mean, I like his quotes, don't get me wrong. That's a beautiful quote. But when I see Waldo, I think of, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? Anyways. So, every violation of truth is not only a sort of suicide in the liar, but is a stab at the health of human society. Which leads us to the second piece of the puzzle. Con number 2. But you're going to have to come back. You're going to have to come back for that one. So stay tuned for con number 2. Alright, everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And don't buy the bullshit. Until next time. Bye.